Well, I think we would look to our highly touted freshman class. I think they came in and really made a difference, combined with the maturity and maturation of our returners.
Did they exceed even your expectations coming into the year?
Well, I think early on they did. We certainly had aspirations of bringing them along to where they are at this point, but I think when we talk about November and early December, they certainly exceeded our expectation on just how quickly they might adapt to this level.
Can you look ahead to Thursday, obviously opening up with Richmond, a couple of great games between you guys this season. What's going to be different this time?
Well, I think we're probably looking at a third great game. I mean, we've had two just absolute battles. And, you know, it's unfortunate that we have to play each other in the first round of the tournament here in our hometown. But I think that certainly the community should come out and watch the game, because I think it's going to be a pretty exciting atmosphere for our kids and for the two teams going the crosstown rivalry piece. I just think that there's a lot of anticipation for that game from our kids.
When they made the announcement that the tournament was going to be here, we talked about how exciting it's going to be to play in your hometown, in the Coliseum, where everybody is. Now that it's here, how anxious are you to sort of get going?
Well, I think our kids are very excited about it. They understand what's on the line. They know you've got to fight your tail off to win to play another day, and that's where we're at right now. But it's an exciting time of year nonetheless, and everybody's going for the same thing. So that's why they call it March Madness, and we're thrilled that it's here in Richmond, and we have an opportunity to do something special in our back door.
It seemed like you've had different seasons rolled up into one. You started fast, you hit a little valley, and then you went up the upper swing late in the season. You get that sense, and what has to, I guess, continue for that swing to continue to go upward?
Certainly. Well, I think a lot of that is youth. We knew we would have some highs and lows, and them adapting and adjusting. You know, non-conference schedule, we moved along fairly well. We hit conference, which is another level, and it took us a little bit to adjust. I think early on we started well, beating St. Joe's and Duquesne, teams that end up being in the top of the league, and then we played Dayton to 4 points on their home floor. So we've done some really nice things, but we also had some lapses during those times. But I think that the good part about that is that we've learned from those things. This is a new season. We're 0-0, and let the chips fall where they may. But we've been prepared for this moment through all of our games to this point.
Coach, you mentioned the freshmen and how much you guys have relied on them. Do you subscribe to the theory that freshmen are now sophomores now that we're into the postseason? How do you think they might react once they get into the big arena there down there?
Well, absolutely. We've presented it to them because it's their only reference point to this point in their career, as treat it like a state tournament, state championship game. Every night it's a state championship game once we go downtown, and they seem to connect with that and relate to that, and that's how we're talking to them about what we're going into. But I think that we will certainly continue to rely on them, absolutely. They have carried us most of the way in combination with Robin Parks, and we're not going to be any different going into the tournament.
Do you rely on somebody like Robin to convey the urgency to the freshmen at times? We need to sort of get them in the locker room and talk about the one game at a time mentality?
Sure, I think we as a staff are doing that as well. I think it's a collective effort. That's not necessarily Robin's comfort zone. So she is playing with urgency, and she knows, but she kind of lets her game speak for herself. She's not as verbal. So I think that they're getting a combination of that from our seniors, Zakiya Williams, along with Parks, but also from our staff.
Coach, this time of year can evoke a lot of great moments and a lot of great memories. What's one of your most favorite moments from either your playing career, coaching career in March?
Well, it's going to take me a minute. Well, I think I'll just kind of answer that collectively. I think just playing in March in general there's nothing else like it. I don't think you can compare it. For me to pull out one thing in my career would be very difficult, and now 20 plus years of doing this. But I certainly think that if you're playing in March, something good is happening, and if you're continuing to play in March, it only gets better and better. So I think the simple fact that you're playing this time of year is special.
You said, I'm trying to remember in regards to the literacy level with this team. It seems like, can you state the fact that they are ready for this to, to start ready for this postseason, to start kind of, put aside what you did in the regular season?
Absolutely, and I think having the bye on Saturday has helped us. We were able to have a couple of extra days off, get our legs back under us. I think it will serve the freshmen in particular well, who are used to their season being over at this time of year. So I think that we're going to come in there refreshed. We have a lot of extra prep time as well to tweak a few things and to come in with a couple new tactics going into the tournament.
Since Saturday, have the girls given any pointers on half-court shots?
Get in the gym and get stronger. Yeah.
The hook shot.
Yes, yeah, the hook shot has served me well in the past, but I was a little bit off on Saturday.
You guys look good? Thanks. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. We really appreciate the coverage.